Call member for Noosa.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. During the First World War and subsequent wars, the men and women of Noosa answered the call and signed up to serve their country. Like many communities across Queensland, the residents of Noosa have paid tribute to these selfless men and women through war memorials which list the names of those who served in the First World War. The 2017 publication of Noosa Remembers, A History of World War I, Memorials of Noosa Shire, was co-authored by Joe Hextall and Jane Harding, who's our heritage librarian at Noosa Library Service. It traces the history of the various First World War memorials located within our district, coming in the form of parks and reserves, halls, baths, an avenue and a rotunda. As well, 8 honour boards in communities including Pomona, Federal, Cooroy, Cooran and Pomona. In 1922, so nearly 100 years, it was a really significant year for the Shire, and erected were 2 key memorials. These are the cenotaphs in both Bolton and Cooroy, which were dedicated. Thousands of our residents every Anzac Day gather to honour and remember. This publication is one of the many tributes that demonstrates how our community commemorates and cares for their war memorials, similar to the care given to the State Memorial at Anzac Square here in Brisbane. It is a privilege to see these significant events and important memorials commemorating the members of the Defence Force and their duty to our nation. I want to give a huge shout-out to our sub-branches at Cooroy, Pomona, Tewantin, Noosa and Cooran, Peregian. All their members, but also their beautiful families and partners. What they do every single day is just incredible. Anzac Square was dedicated on Remembrance Day 1930 as Queensland's State War Memorial and was the culmination of the broader Queensland community's response to the First World War. In Queensland Veterans Bill 2021, the Queensland Veterans Bill 2021 will ensure that Anzac Square is one of such war memorials in which Queensland's and, in fact, all Australians can continue to be incredibly proud of. The bill will establish the Queensland Veterans Council, or the QVC, as a statutory body with areas of responsibility, including as trustee of Anzac Square, assuming the functions of the Board of Trustees under the Anzac Day Act 1995 and providing advice to government on veterans' matters. The bill also provides that the QVC would have the function of administering the trust fund and deciding applications for payments out of that fund. This is funded predominantly by a grant appropriated from the Queensland Government and provides annual payments to institutions, organisations or associations to assist ex-service men and women and their dependents. The bill does not alter the quantum of funding provided by government to the trust fund, nor does it alter the purposes which payments can be made from that fund. To support the QVC in the performance of its advisory function, the bill also formalises the role of QVAC as a ministerial advisory committee established to provide a forum for the Queensland veterans community to communicate directly with the Queensland Government and provide advice on veterans' matters. Many submitters, including RSL Queensland, welcome the establishment of the QVC as a statutory body to modernise the legislative framework for veterans' matters. While supportive of the QVC concept, submitters are justifiably concerned that the Act in its present form diminishes the Queensland veteran community by not recognising the experience needed to manage Anzac Square and the Anzac Day Trust and to advise the government on matters that are very much related to veterans' issues. Its proposed governance structure means the advice to government from veterans and veteran organisation via Veterans Reference Group is filtered by the QVC, comprising 6 non-veterans and only 2 veterans. This thereby preventing the appointed veteran members from having a majority vote when it comes to decision-making on matters that specifically affect veterans' well-being. Submitters agree the proposed membership structure identified in the bill and the underrepresentation and involvement of veterans in this legislation raises concern. In response, the committee recommended the bill be amended to provide that at least 50% of the members of the QVC must be veterans or representatives of the veterans community and provide that the minister must establish a veterans reference group. I will be supporting any amendments to this effect. We rely on our veteran communities and the selfless commitments they make. In the memorials they care for in remembrance, the events that acknowledge the men and women and their families who make sacrifices for us, as well provide the support desperately needed. In return, they should be able to rely on us. I thank the committee for their recommendations and work, as well as submitters and attendees at the public hearing for their commitment to ensure we get this right. And I give deep gratitude and respect to all those who have sacrificed and continue to sacrifice so much for all of us, and to their families and loved ones, lest we forget.